On today's podcast, we talk about the absolute worst mistake that you can make inside of your business, your life, and especially your customer journey. And I kind of went a little off the reservation and overshared on this podcast and realized that I shared things that people normally pay me money for behind closed doors, but I don't want to delete it and I'll deal with it if they get mad at me. But either way, you're welcome because there is a nugget and giant gift inside of this episode. So without further ado, I'm going to stop bumping my gums. Let's cue the intro and let's get into the episode. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Mind of George show. As I sit here in the most beautiful Montana. She's been a little moody and emotional lately. We had negative 40 a week ago, and then 2 days later we had 41 degrees, and so she can't make up her mind yet, but winter is definitely coming, and I love it. I love the cold. I love the beauty. I love Montana. It's just a beautiful, beautiful sight, and it has nothing to do with today's podcast, but since that's what I'm staring at as the 8 horses of ours are looking at me in the pasture over the mountain in the snow, I'm just reminded of the beauty and all the gratitude I have for this incredible life that I have. And then actually, I guess it is related because I think one of the reasons that I have this life is because of this word, this one word, one of the most powerful words and tools that an entrepreneur can harness. One of the most powerful states of being, one of the most powerful mindsets, one of the most powerful thinking methods that you can use to succeed in every area of your life. And today, I'm talking to you about the worst mistake that you can make in your business. And people ask me all the time, George, why do your customer journeys work? Why do they always work? Why do they feel so easy and so simple? And every time you make one, it works. Why does every time you go into a company and build it, does it change their business? Does it double their business? Does it change their conversion rate? Does it open does it increase their retention rate? Does it have all these things? I get asked these questions all the time. And truth be told, I wish there was some magic answer. I wish there was some secret pill or some easy button that I hit every single time or that I had the quote unquote secrets. But the truth is that I don't have access to any secrets that you don't have. But this one word and this one thing is the thing that makes every customer journey I build work. And that one word is intentionality. It is intentionality. And intentionality is the true secret. It is the state of being. It is the mindset. It is the embodiment required to create a result that we want in our business or in our life is intentionality. And especially when it comes to customer journey. Now, why intentionality? Because a customer journey is nothing more than an intentional relationship. Yes, in our life, we might have a spouse, we have kids, we have friends, and we realize in our life, if we take a passive seat to a relationship, it doesn't go where we want it to go. The moment we decide to be intentional and take a more active approach to relationships, our best friends, our acquaintances, our employees, our spouses, our kids, we always love the results because we are being intentional about how we build them. And when I think about customer journey, what I think about is the fact that what we're doing is we're not selling a product, we're not selling a service, we're creating a relationship with a human first. It just so happens that relationship started when they bought something or when they opted into something, but that was them raising their hand saying, I'm open to being in a relationship with you. And it's our job as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as people that are making a difference to take the relationships that we have to the depth required so that it doesn't become transactional. And what I mean by that is that I watch people fall short all the time and they miss intentionality like this. They're like, oh, I spent all this time making an offer and marketing the offer, but they never put any thought into the back end once somebody has that offer or making this lead magnet or designing this lead magnet, but not what's going to happen when somebody downloads it. And we invest all this time and energy into getting all this attention, right? Think about marketing strategies, the content that we make, the videos, the images, the social platforms. Like we pour 90% of our energy into getting the attention, right? And think about this like dating. We pour all that energy to get that attention, like we're trying to stand out in a crowded room or we're in a room of 99 other suitors and we want to be the one that's chosen. But then when we're chosen, there's nothing to fall back on because we've given all our energy out on the front and not where it really matters, which is on the back. And intentionality is the secret of all of this working. And so when I build customer journeys, I don't start with the acquisition in mind. I don't start with how am I going to get people to opt into this or how am I going to get them to buy this yet. No, that comes after. I start with when somebody buys this, when somebody opts into this, when somebody downloads this content, what path can I create for them that's going to give them the best chance of results that I promised them that I could help them get? And I always start there. And once that's complete, I actually now have all the information required to turn around and market this effectively and give my energy to where I can find them, knowing that when they say yes and when they come in, that they're cared for and handled, which gives me more energy and more capacity to find more people to fill the bucket. And so you cannot make the mistake as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, of jamming information down your audience's throats and expecting them to level up with just information. I believe that entrepreneurs' greatest weapon in their arsenal is time. Time is your best friend, because when you have time and you mix it with intention and clarity, you win the game. And when we think about this, we understand that none of us would want a customer for a day or a week. We'd want them forever. But yet we'll spend 6 months trying to get somebody to pay us $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. And then the moment they do, we'll send them one email and we won't talk to them again until we make them another offer. And then we wonder why our business feels hard. We wonder why it feels like a struggle. We wonder why we're not getting referrals. And it's just simply because we're not playing the game right. And the way to play the game is to have intentionality. And so I'm going to give you the 5 steps that I put at the beginning of every single customer journey that I ever build, so that you can understand my thinking and my intention around them, and you can put these into your business. And so the first question I ask myself is like, oh, George, I'm going to go make an email offer, right? I'm going to make an offer where I'm going to help people build their first customer journey in 30 days. And so the first question I have to ask myself is, how long will my ideal customer or client need to achieve this result? Right? Because I have to understand that when I'm making the promise that I can help you build your email or I can help you scale your business, that also means that I know the path on how you're going to get there, which is why I'm the authority and why I'm the expert and why you're hiring me or interested in me in the first place. And so the first thing that you have to do is you have to identify how long your customer will need to achieve the desired outcome or design the process to take them on their journey. Time is your greatest asset in a customer journey, and it's also the hardest one to use because it requires trust and patience. And in the world that we live in with this instant gratification society, that's not the norm. We're told we're crazy. We want it now. We want it now. But your ability to use time and have that patience and restraint actually increases your authority. It increases how people feel safe because it doesn't feel agendized. And so the first thing is you have to identify, like, hey, I have this lead magnet. Hey, I have this offer. Hey, I have this piece of content. Hey, I have this podcast. And you have to ask yourself, once somebody finds that, buys that, opts into that, or consumes that, and we are helping them with something, and we understand that information is not what's going to put the result in their business, it's them taking the information and being held accountable to implementing it in their business is the way to win the game. Well, once we understand that, then we can ask ourselves, okay, I have this offer, I have this content. When somebody downloads it, here's what they would need to do to actually apply this into their business to get a result. And you start there. I love sticky notes. I put them down. What are the steps of the game? And then once you've identified how long or what steps are required, you have one of 2 choices. Am I going to put them in a customer journey for time, right? 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, 60 days? Or am I going to do a step-based customer journey, which is the direction-based, which is step-by-step? I'm going to teach them these 3 steps, these 6 steps, these 7 steps, because those are the only 2 ways to build a customer journey. So once you know what steps they're going to have to take or how they're going to have to take them, and then you know, well, I'll do it over time or I'll do it over steps, it's really easy. You move on to the second step. And then the second step is clarity. And then this is how you create a sequence that leads with clarity. Because yes, we are marketers, we are entrepreneurs, we are business owners, and my job is to get your attention and then to let you know that I have a solution for your problem, but also that I've actually built a journey that helps you solve that problem and not just gives you information and says good luck. And so once I understand that, I move into clarity. And I start every customer journey the same way to make sure that I'm clear and you're clear on the path that we are going, how we are getting there, and our commitment to each other to guarantee our results, right? And so with clarity, this is how I start a sequence. So it doesn't matter if I have an opt-in. It doesn't matter if I have a paid course. It doesn't matter if it's a $97 course or a $25,000 course. I start every single customer journey the same. And there are 5 steps that I put in the front of every customer journey, every single one of them. And these are the 5. Step number 1 is acknowledge. Step number 2 is prepare. Step number 3 is project. Step number 4 is pre-handle. And step number 5 is excite. And the reason I use these steps is because these steps are designed based on relationship principles of human beings that go deeper than the transaction at hand, which is actually what allows your customer to feel safe and like they have a teammate, which gives them the best chance of success on creating the results, bringing in referrals, and actually becoming your star case studies and your marketing people that do the work for you because you built the journey. So the 5 steps are simple: acknowledge, prepare, project, pre-handle, and excite. And I'm going to explain what each one of them are, okay? And so if you come to me, and I'm just going to use an opt-in as an example. I'm going to make one up right off the top of my head right now. You come to me and you download my 7-day challenge to building your first customer journey. Cool. That's what we're going with, okay? You come in and I'm like, hey, in 7 days, I'm going to help you build your customer journey that's going to increase your revenue, increase your customers' results, increase your revenue, and increase your referrals. You come to me and I say, this is what I have. And you say, done. I'm in. I want it. So you opt in, right? Now you know that I'm going to take you on a 7-day challenge. And I believe that a mistake that most people make is that they go, okay, I opted in, start right now. But if I said to you, hey, you want to go run a marathon? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, great. Do you want to start right now or do you want to start in a week when we prep? You're always going to choose the week. And we have to understand that when we're the expert, when we're the authority, and we're telling somebody that we can help them do something, it's also up to us to design the program or the steps that will give them the best chance of success. And this is where that patience comes in. And so I'm going to help you design your first customer journey in 7 days, which means my customer journey is most likely going to be 11 or 12 days, because it's going to go something like this. I'm going to say Roger is the client. So if you're listening to this and your name's Roger, you're welcome. This one's for you. But step number 1 is acknowledge, right? And so what I want to acknowledge is that you're in the right place, that you made the right decision, and that I've got you, right? And so I might be like, hey, Roger, I'm so incredibly pumped and excited to welcome you into the family. I am stoked to help you build your first customer journey in 7 days. But unlike most of the other people, I want to give you the best chance of success. And if I tell you to start right now, there's a good chance you'll never finish. But if we take the next couple of days to prep, you're going to have everything you need to get the most out of this and implement this into your business immediately. So today, all I want you to do is go celebrate. Get excited, because over the next couple of days, I'm going to be preparing you for everything that we need to get started in 4 days when the challenge kicks off. But today is about you. So I'm excited to have you. Welcome to the family. And just so you know, at any time, you can hit reply to this email and you can let me know if you have any questions, concerns, and my team and I will monitor the inbox. But we are here to help you get that first customer journey in place. So keep your eyes peeled for tomorrow morning, because you're going to get an email with the subject line of blank, and we're going to help you prepare to get the most out of this challenge. So step number 1 is acknowledge. And what we're doing is we're acknowledging that the decision that they made was the right decision, that they're in the right place, that we see them, that we hear them, that we respect them, that we love them, that they understand that we're in their corner. And what we're really doing is we're closing a chapter, we're closing a container, because before we started the challenge, they're in the marketing container, right? They have a problem, we have a solution, they come in and like, yeah, they're super, super excited. Cool. So my ability to acknowledge them and then take these 5 days or 5 steps to prep them closes that chapter and then allows us to open a new one, which is the container of actually fulfilling on this journey. Because at the end of this, we have to close that container as well to then move them into an offer or a community or something along those lines. So step number 1 is acknowledge them. You acknowledge them. You acknowledge them for being there. You welcome to the family. And you do not make it about you. You make it about them. And remember this, your clients' results will tell you everything they need to know about you. So don't worry about that, okay? So then we go to step 2. And step 2 is prepare. And this is where we lay the field out for them to let them know that we have a plan, that we know how they're going to get there, that we have broken it down in an easy to understand modality or content or something that they can apply it into their business. So the prepare email might go something like this. Hey, Roger, super stoked. I hope you celebrated yesterday. And if you didn't, I'm not stalking you yet, but I want you to, because celebrations matter. And the more that you tune your brain into winning, the more you find wins in your business and life. But we'll get more into that on another day, because today we're going to prep you to get the most out of this 7-day customer journey challenge. So when the challenge begins, you're going to get an email every day at 7 a.m. and it's going to start with this in the subject line. Each email is going to take you about less than 1 minute to read, and every video that's associated is less than 5 minutes. So what we recommend today is that you open up your calendar, and next week on those days, put 15-minute blocks every day in your calendar so that you have a plan and it's a part of your routine to come watch this content and then implement it into your business. We also recommend that you have a separate notebook that you use just to take notes with this one. And we have found that people who use the videos, use the notebook, and fill out the worksheets get 60% more success than everybody else who doesn't. And so we just wanted to make sure that you were prepped with everything that you need. At most, it'll take about 20 minutes to complete all the work every day. And how cool that in 20 minutes a day for 7 days, you can go from never having a customer journey to having yours done and complete, rocking your business. So I'm stoked to get you started. The other thing that we really recommend is that you leverage community. So we have this incredible Facebook group called Relationships Beat Algorithms. And there's people in that group that are in this challenge with you and some are not. But I want you to know that that's an incredible resource for you. So here's a link to the group. Go get prepped, get all this stuff ready. And just remember, if you have any questions, you can hit reply to this email. But tomorrow, we're going to talk about the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make when it comes to customer journey to make sure that you don't make them. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. And that would be my step 2, right? And then when you understand the next steps, right, I have project, pre-handle, excite. In this instance, I'm going to condense project and pre-handle into one email. But projection is me reminding them of the after state, right? I acknowledge them for coming in. I'm preparing them to get the most out of this challenge. And now that they're prepped, I'm going to remind them of what they're going to achieve, what's going to happen in their business. That's what the project step does. The pre-handle is where we literally handle any roadblock we know is going to come up along the way, so that if it comes up, they have a plan and they can stay in momentum and not struggle. And so I would probably do this one in like in one email. So I believe if this is a 7-day challenge, this would be about 11 steps. Day 1 would be acknowledge. Day 2 would be prepare. Day 3 would be project and pre-handle. Day 4 would be excite. And then day 5 would start the challenge. And that would be day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Roger comes in, he opens this email on day 3. I'm like, hey, Roger, I'm getting stoked. We are getting started in 2 days, and I hope you're as excited about I am, because I remember the first time I built my customer journey, the light bulbs went off and my heart was filled because I've never felt anything like it. And truth be told, you're already there. You're ahead of the other 99.9% of entrepreneurs that did not opt into this email. And at the end of 7 days, you will forever see customer journey differently and be able to build it in a heartbeat, giving you everything you need in your business. And I am so fucking stoked for you. But in order to protect that progress and that momentum, I'm going to help you navigate this field, because there's a couple of things that could come up over the next couple of days in the challenge that might prevent your progress. So instead of allowing them to come up, I'm going to tell you about them and give you a plan in case it happens. And so then in this step, what I do is I think about all the challenges that could come up in my ideal customer's life when they're trying to consume my content. They could get sick. They could not have access to their email for a day. They could get writer's block. They could not know what to say. And so in the pre-handle email, what I do is I list out like the 3 to 6 biggest objections that previous clients or that I think people are going to run into while they build their customer journey. And then I give them solutions, right? And so for example, I'll pick one example for this one. Let's say they miss a day, right? Because that would be the first one I put in. It's a 7-day challenge and they miss a day. If I don't acknowledge or bring up that that might happen and somebody misses a day, there's a good chance they'll quit the challenge. If I let them know if they miss a day, if I let them know that they're going to miss a day, and then I give them a plan to what's going to happen or what they should do, if that happens, then they stay in momentum and they protect their progress. And so it would be really, really simple. My first one would be like, hey, when it comes to this challenge, I want you to understand that you put it in your calendar to achieve it every single day, but life happens. We have sick kids, we have business, we have everything. So in the unlikely chance that you miss a day, do not worry. What I want you to do is, if that happens, is I want you to pick up where you left off. And at the end of the week, go back to that day and it will all make sense. And so my job in pre-handling objections is to think about everything that gets in the way. So let's say I'm teaching somebody to write an email, they might struggle with writer's block. And so I might be like, hey, as we're building this customer journey, you might get stuck with writer's block, not knowing what to say or how to say it, right? And so here's what I do when that happens. I use a tool called Answer the Public to get questions. I'll call my customers. And so my job is to identify every challenge or the big ones that could get in the way of my customer achieving success, and then give them a plan or a step to do in case that happens, allowing them to protect their progress. So that is steps 3 and 4. So we've hit acknowledge, we've hit prepare, we've hit project, we've hit pre-handle, and now the most important one is excite. And excite is really, really simple. If you're a CrossFitter, this is 3, 2, 1, go. If you run a race, this is when the gun goes off. But this is like the preparatory command because tomorrow we go. So this one's really, really simple. Hey, Roger, I'm super stoked. We are getting started on the 7-day challenge tomorrow. And as a reminder, here's all the things we covered. You'll get the emails at 7 a.m. All the subject lines will start with this. But I want you to know, whether you finished all the prep work or just a little bit of it, your ability to have the patience to prep for 4 days basically guaranteed your chance of success. And tomorrow morning, it's race day. So at 7 a.m. we go, and I hope you're as excited as I am. I can't wait to see you on the call. I can't wait to see you on the video, and let's get that customer journey built. Boom. And then I've closed the prep period of the customer journey, and I just said tomorrow we begin. And then my customer journey takes place. And if you want to know how to build that customer journey, you're going to have to come to one of our events or hire me or call me or DM me, and we'll figure it out. But I can't do that in a podcast, right? But these 5 steps are what I put at the beginning of every single customer journey. When I meet somebody at a conference, I put them through these 5 steps. When I have a conversation, I put them through these 5 steps. When I keynote and somebody asks me a question, I put them through these 5 steps. And I live and breathe these because it protects the depth of the relationship regardless of the transaction. And it's the intentionality that gets the results. It's the intentionality that makes me the money. It's the intentionality that gets me the 80% open rates. It's the intentionality that gets me to close 7-figure deals with ease. And everybody's, George, how do you do it? 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 I just told you how I do it. It's intentionality. It's caring, and it's putting this into practice and allowing this to be what it's supposed to be to help people achieve their goal. And so here's the reality. Most entrepreneurs try to do too much with their customer journeys, and they end up missing out on so much revenue, or they just don't build one in the first place. But I like to think about customer journeys like I'm guiding my 6 or 17-year-old daughter through my offer. And this is what I do. If I have an offer, if I have a lead magnet, I'll change the name to match something my kids would want. And then I will break it down and say, how could I break this down to give my kids exactly what's needed, as simple as possible, to get them the result that they want? And so customer journeys are the most powerful thing that you will ever build, but they require intentionality. And so if you have dreams of scaling your business past 7 figures or taking it to 7 figures, past 6 figures or taking it to 7 figures or 8 or beyond, it's imperative you learn to leverage your customer journey. Because as the market continues to change, as the world continues to change, as consumption goes up, as everybody's filters go up, as their, buyer hesitancy goes up, as Emily calls it, the only thing that you have to leverage is the relationship. And if all the relationships are built on transactions and they lack intentionality, you don't have it, and somebody else is going to take it. So the worst thing you can do is not have a customer journey, because it's absolutely destroying your revenue. And so take some time, re-listen to this show 5 times, 10 times, however many times, because just for the record, people have paid me a lot of money to teach them what I just taught you on the podcast, and put this into practice in your business. I will say this once and for all to end the show. The absolute worst mistake you can make inside of your business is doing anything without intentionality. So that's what I got for you today. So I'm going to go play with my kids since he's standing in the doorway and looking at me, and it's the weekend, and it's daddy son time. So I appreciate you. I love you. I can't wait to see you in the next episode. So remember that relationships will always beat algorithms, and I will either see you in the next episode or you will hear me in your earballs. But either way, I'm out.